Okay, welcome back, everyone. Today we're diving deep into, well, something a bit unexpected from the MCU, Thunderbolts.
Yeah, definitely not your usual heroes saving the day. This is different.
Right. It's like, forget the Avengers B team. This is more like the Avengers adjacent therapy group. We're talking Yelena Belova, Bucky Barnes.
Don't forget Red Guardian, U.S. agent, remember him? Ghost, Taskmaster. No, maybe not for long, apparently.
Oh, right. And the big newcomers, Sentry, who sounds like a whole thing, and the woman pulling the strings, Valentina Allegra de Fontaine.
Exactly. It's this collection of, well, let's call them morally flexible individuals. Anti-heroes, maybe?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Especially coming after Endgame. The MCU's been trying to find its footing, and then they dropped this,
Yeah.
a team of, let's be honest, kind of screw-ups.
It's definitely a choice. And you have to wonder, is this like a pivot? A new direction? Or is it setting something specific up maybe for Avengers, Doomsday?
That's what we want to unpack today. What's the core of this movie? This focus on mental health we're hearing about, the whole anti-hero angle, and how does it all connect to the bigger picture?
Yeah, let's dig into it, starting with that mental health aspect, because apparently it's not just character backstory this time.
Right. The word is it's central.
Yeah.
Like really central, not just a throwaway line about PTSD like we saw with Tony or grief with Thor. This sounds heavier.
It does. It feels like they're making the inner struggles the actual, the plot driver almost.
Think about Yelena. That opening line they teased. I have some problems. Maybe I'm just bored. That hits hard, doesn't it?
Yeah.
After everything with Natasha the Blip.
It speaks volumes.
Yeah.
That feeling of emptiness, searching for purpose after trauma. It's relatable, even if you haven't fought aliens.
It's definitely more relatable than, say, inheriting a kingdom. And then there's Sentry. Bob Rones.
Sentry. Okay, so this guy sounds like the absolute embodiment of the film's themes. We're talking trauma, addiction. They even mention past meth, use memory loss, this fractured identity.
And the void, right? This dark side that's literally part of his power set, tied directly to his mental state.
Exactly. The void isn't some external demon. It's him. It comes out when he's unstable, triggered. And that detail about touching him, forcing others to confront their dark pasts, that's intense.
Super intense. I heard the director, Jake Schreier, actually based some of Sentry's storyline on a friend's real struggles. That adds a layer of sincerity, maybe.
It feels like it. And it gives this pretty dysfunctional team a reason to actually connect, doesn't it? They've all got baggage, manipulation, guilt, doubt.
Shared trauma is team bonding, only in the MCU. Right.
Well, maybe not only here, but yeah, their support for Bob, for Sentry, helping him fight the void, that becomes crucial. It's about community, connection, facing that inner darkness together.
And the climax is supposedly this big mindscape battle. So it's literally fighting inner demons.
Which makes sense when you look at the writers Lee Sung-jin, Joanna Cullo coming off Beef. They know how to explore depression, isolation.
Right. Taking that sensibility into a huge blockbuster. It's a bold move. They said they wanted to tackle these dark internal problems on this scale.
It feels like a potential course correction, maybe, after some criticism that the MCU got a bit formulaic post-Endgame.
Could be focusing on messy, internal stuff, on characters who aren't obvious winners. It's a gamble. Will audiences go for it?
That's the billion-dollar question, isn't it? But maybe that's the appeal. These aren't shiny heroes. They're flawed people trying to figure things out. Which brings us to the whole anti-hero thing.
Yeah, what are they exactly? The film seems careful not to call them straight-up villains. Misfits, outcasts, seeking purpose.
And look at their origins. Red Room, Winter Soldier Program, U.S. Agent, SHIELD experiments. They're all products of shady organizations.
They've all been messed with, basically used.
And this mission, whatever it initially seems to be, forces them to reckon with that. Both literally, maybe through Sentry's memory thing, and thematically.
Yelena's assassin past. Bucky's whole Winter Soldier history. Walker's fall from grace. Ghost being exploited. Red Guardians. Well, whatever his deal is.
Exactly. Even Taskmaster. Before apparently leaving the picture early, they're all confronting who they were made to be.
But does that lead to redemption? They supposedly start off fighting each other, not exactly heroic, but saving Bob, stopping the void. Does that change them?
It suggests a possibility, right, a transformation. But then comes that ending, being rebranded as the new Avengers.
Against their will. That's the kicker. Valentina just slaps that label on them.
It highlights the ambiguity, doesn't it? The original Avengers were symbols. These guys, They're complicated. It's a messy world. Maybe it needs messy heroes or anti-heroes.
It definitely gives the writers more flexibility. You don't have the weight of Captain America's shield, you know?
Yeah.
Their motivations can be murkier. Maybe it appeals to audiences who are a bit tired of the squeaky clean image.
It's a different flavor of heroism, or maybe something adjacent to it, finding meaning outside the traditional mold. Now, who's orchestrating all this?
Valentina, played by Julia Louis-Dreyfus, who just nails that unsettling smile.
She's the puppet master, isn't she? And not for some grand save-the-world reason. It's purely about covering her own back.
Right, the impeachment threat, those dealings with the OXE group. So her plan is send the team into a death trap.
Pretty much. A mission that's actually designed to eliminate evidence informants. The team itself, probably. Into an incinerator, no less. Classic Val.
Cold. And OXE is her secret science project, building superhumans off the books.
Specifically Sentry. He was meant to be her shiny new toy, her controllable Superman, a massive PR win to make everyone forget her problems.
No, that's ruthless. But they hint at her backstory, right? Something traumatic.
Yeah, a brief glimpse, witnessing her father's murder as a child, maybe being abducted or groomed by the killers afterward. It paints a picture of someone desperate never to be powerless again.
So it's personal, not ideology, just control. A warped contrast to Nick Fury, who gathered heroes to protect. Val builds tools to control.
Exactly, and it's a critique of that unchecked power, the human cost of these secret programs. She's a new kind of threat, not an alien invasion, but corruption from within the system.
Operating as CIA director but using secret divisions, manipulation. It's insidious.
And her weapons are PR, spin, manipulation, like that new Avengers rebranding. It's very modern, very bureaucratic evil almost, reflecting anxieties about hidden agendas in powerful places.
Chillingly effective. Okay, so that's the team, the themes. But how does this fit into the bigger MCU puzzle, especially with the original Avengers gone?
The movie tackles that head-on, apparently. They actually say stuff like, the Avengers aren't coming. It acknowledges the void.
So Thunderbolts,
Yeah.
or the team that becomes the Thunderbolts, is the answer. These flawed second stringers stepping up.
It seems like it. Maybe the argument is that heroism now is about connection, about choosing to act despite the flaws, not because of perfection. Remember that team hug from the heart line?
Yeah, amidst the chaos. It's a narrative necessity, isn't it? Yeah. Losing Iron Man, Cap, the MCU needed someone to fill that space.
It did. And Thunderbolts uses characters we already know, even if they were secondary, and elevates them. It's exploring legacy, imperfection. Can the idea of the Avengers exist without the originals?
And it gives these characters real development, right? Yelena, Bucky, Walker, Ghost, Red Guardian.
Right.
They get more screen time, more interaction.
Definitely. That father-daughter thing with Yelena and Red Guardian, the team's internal friction, giving the actors ownership, as you mentioned, probably helps make those dynamics feel real.
It's smart, too, integrating characters from different corners, even from shows or movies that maybe didn't hit quite as hard, and making them central.
And introducing Sentry, this powerhouse who's stronger than all the Avengers combined, but whose biggest battle is internal. That's huge for the future.
It's efficient team building. Leverage existing characters, focus on dynamics and themes instead of 6 new origin stories.
Exactly. It's a strategic way to build a new core group using assets they already have. But what about the feel of the movie? The style?
Yeah, reports suggest it's different. Darker, more grounded, maybe less quippy, more emotionally sincere, some are saying. Even the look might be less bright, more faded, almost indie film-like.
Interesting. And the action, too. Less giant CGI battles, more clarity, tension, corridor fights, car chases, that kind of thing. The director mentioned focusing on clarity.
It really sounds like Phase 5 might be ending on a different note, a potential tonal shift for what comes next. Critics seem hopeful, calling it a return to form, maybe.
Well, Marvel has always played with tone. Guardians versus Winter Soldier, right? So this darker feel might just be specific to these characters, this story.
True. It fits the anti-hero, trauma-focused narrative. But if it works...
If it lands with audiences, yeah, it could encourage more tonal diversity, which is probably healthy for a franchise this big. Keeps things fresh.
Okay, so let's look ahead. What does this movie set up for the future? That ending sounds crucial.
Absolutely. Valentina's new Avengers rebranding is huge. That asterisk in the title probably points directly to that this isn't the Avengers we knew.
And the power shift. Yelena telling Val, now we control you. They have the name, but maybe not the leash.
Seems like it. And moving into Avengers Tower, renaming it the Watchtower. That's claiming the territory, symbolically.
It screams Dark Avengers from the comics, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Government team, shady members, unstable powerhouse like Sentry.
Definitely parallels, but maybe with more autonomy. Less Osborn, more rebellious. Could they clash with, say, Sam Wilson's potential team over who gets to be the Avengers?
Ooh, interesting. An ideological battle over the name itself. Who owns the brand? The government-backed misfits or the more traditional heroes? That could be a major conflict.
And it all leads towards Avengers, Doomsday, right? We know the actors are coming back for it.
Hugh, Stan, Russell, Harper, the others.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're confirmed. And that post-credits scene.
The new Avengers, Sentry included, dealing with an extraterrestrial issue, then getting a distress call. Cross-dimensional ship.
Cool.
Big Four logo.
Can't get much clearer than that. Fantastic Four incoming. And the multiversal stuff ties right into Incursions, the breakdown of reality, the road to Doomsday.
So Thunderbolts essentially establishes one of the core teams for the next big event. It locks in the new Avengers, links them to cosmic threats, the F4, and sets up internal conflict. Plus, Sentry.
Yeah, what happens with him? Controlled weapon, ticking time bomb, the key to everything.
Who knows? He's such a massive wild card. His power level is off the charts. And then there's Valentina. She just gets away with it.
Seems like it. Still out there, probably still pulling strings, even if the team isn't directly under her thumb anymore. What about OXE?
Good question. Is it shut down? Or just operating deeper undercover, maybe linked to this new team somehow? Val remains this shadowy figure.
Which means those themes of distrust, manipulation, corruption within the system,
Yeah.
they're not going away. She represents that unresolved tension.
Exactly. She's the ghost in the machine, ensuring the heroes have to navigate internal politics and potential betrayal alongside whatever multiversal monsters show up.
Okay, so wrapping this up. Thunderbolts looks like a really pivotal film. Heavy focus on mental health, exploring anti-heroism, critiquing power through Val. It's Phase 5 answer to the hero vacuum, elevating flawed characters.
And the setup for the future is undeniable. The new Avengers name, the internal conflicts, Sentry's introduction, the direct links to Doomsday and the Fantastic Four. It's laying down significant track.
Maybe that messy, imperfect feel isn't a bug, it's a feature. A reflection of where the MCU is now, focusing on the complicated humanity behind the capes.
It could be a deliberate attempt to find a new way forward, perhaps a more mature one. What that ultimately means for what a hero is in this universe. Well, that's something to chew on.